Curiosity is the real superpower. Not motivation, not discipline. Let me tell you something. You will find this, it's always curiosity. Because motivation is fake as fucking hell. You can always lose motivation. Motivation is like that friend who says, "Yeah, bro, I'm in. I'm always in. Yeah, I'll see you at 5. Yeah, I'm in, bro." And then ghosts you the moment things get slightly uncomfortable. Everyone keeps saying, "How do I stay motivated? How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I stay, motivated all the time?" It's always the wrong question. That's like asking, "How do I, stay excited to brush my teeth for the rest of my life?" You don't fucking stay excited. You don't. You either do it in your fucking mouth or your mouth starts fucking smelling like shit. I didn't wake up one day with some cinematic life purpose. I always had this in my fucking mind that no angel is gonna come down, no dramatic, fucking background music. I was just curious. I was annoyingly curious. I had to fucking know things. I had to know how everything freaking worked. I kept asking questions that didn't even let me sleep properly. I'm always curious, even if I get like fucking $10 million in my bank, I will be still curious because that's built in me. Why are some people always busy but still broke? Why are some people talk the whole room shuts up? Why do some people fail for 10 years, 10 straight years, and they suddenly explode? Why do others do everything fucking right and they still stay average forever? What's the real cause of that? Because they're always curious in your own mind. That curiosity, it messed me up in a good way. It made me read things that I didn't even want to read. Let me something. Some of the books that I read, I didn't even want to read it. I'm not Christian, but I have read a little bit, like 30 or 40 pages of Jerusalem Bible. I didn't want to, get to know the whole religion. I was just curious. I had to learn skills that nobody asked me how to learn it. You have to sit alone, thinking. Like when everyone else is scrolling like zombies, if you're curious, you would be the person who would be looking stupid half of the time. But you have to keep moving. And let me tell you something. Motivation does not wait for perfect conditions. Curiosity doesn't give a damn about anything. Curiosity only works when you're tired. It even works when you're tired, when you're confused, when you're insecure, and most importantly, when you feel very behind from everybody. And motivation, it asks, "Do I feel like doing this? Should I do this? Should I, not do this? Or maybe I can do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not feeling like it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow." And curiosity, it only asks one question: what happens if I do it anyways? What happens, if I just try it? And that question is light. It doesn't pressurize you, it doesn't demand confidence. It just pulls you forward because you have curiosity, you have something in your freaking heart that you want the answer to everything. I hope you're relating to me. I hope you're relating to what I'm saying. Because most people are stuck, not because they're lazy, but because they have turned their life into a giant pressure cooker. They are pressured by everything, they can't control anything. And everything has to be the right decision, the best path, the perfect use of time. So they always overthink. They always plan. Or maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that. They watch videos titled from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, from anywhere. 5 skills to do this, 5 ways to do this. Then seven skills that would, replace those 5 skills. Then why like skills don't matter anymore? And after all that thinking, they still absolutely and disappointingly not do anything. They just do something, they watch the videos, just because they had that motivation, a little motivation, but they don't take any action. But you have to take action. You have to be curious enough to know things, and then you have to take action. And action builds momentum. That's how actually momentum builds. That's how actually momentum starts. Not with confidence, not with clarity, but with movement. When you're curious, confusion stops being scary. Instead of saying, I'm lost, you can always say, wait, you know what? I want to know that how does it actually work? You must be one of those, like, you must be in that lecture, right? You could be in like, you could be studying in your course, in your university or college course. Sometimes you really go inside and think, okay, yeah, man, you know what? I'm really curious. How does it actually work? It could be like talking about a car engine or something. Yeah, I'm really curious. How does it actually work? And that's the exact time that you're most productive about that course. That's why curious people, they learn very fast. They're not trying to look smart. They're always trying to understand something. There's a quote that I love: judge a person by their questions, not their answers. Because if a person, and they always say, right, no question is a stupid question. Because if a person is brave and courageous enough to ask a question, that's that's the only thing, that's the only trait you have to know about that course, about that person. Smart people, they don't walk around with perfect answers. They're always walking around with that mindset that I want to know everything about this world. I want to know, you know, even if I don't fucking win anything, even if it's not for money, at least I will get to know something, right? They walk around betting, like asking better questions than everybody else. And here's the sneaky part that no one actually talks about. Curious people, they compound very fast. Not because they are geniuses, but because simply they cross lanes. They learn a bit about money, a bit about psychology, a bit about communication, a bit about tech, a bit about how actually things work, a bit about human nature, a bit about human behavior. They learn about everything, and that's how all polymaths build. That's how all jack of all trades they're built. They are always curious about every freaking thing in the world, and suddenly at like fucking 12 or maybe 3 a.m. or 2 a.m., they're suddenly connecting all the dots that other people don't even see. They look like, yeah, he was just lucky. They look very lucky. But let me tell you something, they're not. They're not lucky. They were never lucky. They were the same person as you were with the same opportunities. But the only thing that they had different were that they were a little curious. They were just curious longer than other people stayed comfortable. Most people quit learning the moment they find something that pays their bills. That's what a paycheck to paycheck person does. They always settle themselves before they explode. Curious people don't. They keep poking, they keep asking, and they keep upgrading themselves. And that's what makes them keep dangerous and long run.